What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about all of the books that I read in June. So like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. The first one is Powerless from Elsie Silver in the Chestnut Spring series. Oh my gosh, this is the third book. Let me just tell you, I'm still thinking about the book and I read it on June 1st. I am obsessed with Jasper. He's one of my new favorite book boyfriends. This is a friends to lovers situation and he's a hockey player and they end up taking a little road trip. He takes some time off. Oh my gosh, like you guys please just go read. The next one I read was Reckless in the Chestnut Spring series as well. So Elsie Silver, you own my heart. This is following Winter and Theo. You guys, it is a suppressed pregnancy trope and I had no faith. I had zero faith, but let me tell you, it was such a beautiful book and I'm obsessed with Winter and I hated her in the other books, but of course you could read this as a standalone, but I would read all of them like in order, but still, oh, so good. The next one I read was Final Offer in the Dreamland Billionaire series. This is the third one. I know people say to read them in order, but I just wasn't feeling the plot of the other ones. This was such a pleasant surprise. It was a lengthy book and it did not need to be like 600 pages. Like there was no need. We could have like cut it short at least at like 450. Like 500 tops, but like 450 should have been the cutoff. I started seeing it like drone on a little bit, and if it wasn't for that, I would have given it like a 4.5 stars. It really pinpointed what it's like to love an addict, and I just thought that that journey alone was so important to share to readers and get a good feel for what addiction really is. So I thought that book was outstanding, really, really good. Now, this next one is now in my top 5 favorite books of all time, and I can't believe it's always the books that I like put off reading that end up being my favorite. Still Beating. Yep, from Jennifer Hartman. This book is about a guy and a girl. They hate each other. They know each other because her sister's fiance is him. They get kidnapped together and lines get blurred, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I really didn't know how this was going to go. It's definitely a dark romance. It's a very triggering book. Definitely go look at trigger warnings, but I think they captivated the abuse in as much of a tasteful way as you can. I loved the guy main character so much. Most of this book is not even them in captivity. I think that's like the first 100 pages and the rest of it is life after captivity. And a lot of people were annoyed with the girl because she was kind of like bouncing back and forth with her feelings, this and that, but like I think people need to understand, like, this girl was just kidnapped. Like, you know, like, cut her some slack. Like, of course she's, you know, confused with feelings. Okay, the next one I read was Credence. I wish I never touched the book. I got the eeriest vibes. It was the eeriest book that I could picture all too vividly. It's about a girl, she gets stuck in a cabin with, like, her fake uncle, her 2 cousins, and she like gets with all of them. It was just not a good book and like really weird and no plot. Okay, the next one I read was Redeemed in the Dirty Air series. This is the 4th one. This has a disability representation and he's an amputee and he was like a really famous F1, like NASCAR, not NASCAR, you know what I mean, driver. NASCAR maybe, I don't know, but an F1 driver, and he ended up losing like his leg, like half his leg. So I thought following his journey of gaining confidence, having a disability, and how understanding our girl character is in this, it was such a beautiful book and it was so well done. Do I think that it needed to be like 600 pages? No. So I would have to knock it down to like a 4.2 stars, but yeah, I thought it was a really, really good book. I really enjoyed it. I would have to rate it a 4 stars. I thought it was a good book. Some of it very unrealistic, but I loved the disability representation. The next one is a photo finish in the Gold Rush Ranch series from Elsie Silver. I thought this was amazing, obsessed with the 2 characters in this. So our main 2 characters met years before on this like sexy like forum page of like sharing photos of yourself like an OnlyFans, but not. You when you read it, you'll understand. They abruptly stop talking. You don't know why. Might I add, the reason why will make everything make sense, and it's such an Elsie Silver, your brain is just so powerful and so amazing. But anyways, it's their like story and they meet in the future and it's forced proximity and it's just so good. So good. The next one I read was Blurred Lines. This book is about two best friends. They've lived together since college, and our main girl character, her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she's just kind of lost, and she's only gotten with like one person or something like that before. As you can probably tell by the title, Blurred Lines, you kind of see what's going to happen, and I just thought this was such a good book. It wasn't a super long book. It kept me on my toes. I really like the characters. It's a great just summer read. I would really recommend. I thought it was a really good book. This next one is a smutty, amazing summer read by the pool, super lighthearted. This is done and dusted, and by the cover, I was not expecting it to be as steamy as it was, and the smutty scenes were amazing. Amazing. Such a good book and super fun. Like, I was reading really heavy books this month, so to read that and pick it up and just have something that was a little bit lighter, I don't know what it is. I'm a lover of cowboy romances now, so. This next book is called Ignite. This book is a romance between a single dad and he moves next door to this young girl who's like 23, so it's an age gap romance. I definitely recommend if you want like a steamy age gap. I'm more of like a slow burn romance person. If you like those type of age gap romances, I feel like you'd like this. And I really enjoyed the writing. The next one is Falling Embers. I thought this was a really good book. There wasn't much like sexy time in the book, and I personally do like some sexy time in my books, so I thought it was a really good story, but that's the only thing I would have to like debunk. So I would say that was like a 3.8 read for me. It was good. I did enjoy it. I would just say it didn't like light electricity in me, so I would definitely rate it like 3.8. There was a good like plot twist at the end and like stuff like that, so I did like that aspect. The only thing I would have to say is they didn't put enough like sexy time in it, and listen, not every book has to have that, but I do think especially in new adult romances, it is a personal preference. I do like it in the book because it's kind of like a relationship flourishing in that way. I just would never reread the book again, but I did like the book. The next book is Bad Habit, and this book is about a girl and she's always been into her brother's best friend, and it's kind of like a second chance romance. I enjoyed the book. It was very toxic. If you hate toxicity in books, then I would not pick this up. I thought it was a good book. I definitely, you know, was interested in the characters. He was kind of like an asshole, but I did like him in a sense. There was a lot of like toxicity and problematic elements in it, but I did feel a connection between them, so I did enjoy it. I just would never read it again, but yeah, it's called Bad Habit and I enjoyed it. I did DNF Wrecked from the Dirty Air series. I don't really like the forced proximity romance regarding like the babysitter, like with the famous guy. I just don't like that unless it's Elsie Silver. Like I don't like that. And the only book I wasn't a fan of was The Front Runner from the Gold Rush Ranch series from Elsie Silver. And I've rated like all of her books above like a 4.5 stars. So it was definitely a shock for me. Maybe I was coming off of a high from her other books. I'm not sure. I just thought it was a little more focused on like the horse world rather than like their romance, and I got like 100 pages in. I just wasn't feeling it. It is a book that I DNF that I would pick up again in the future and give it a second try. It's not like the book in the Dirty Air series Wrecked that I just will never probably pick up. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one.